Hey everybody, we're doing a little bit of catch up, so this is not going to be only the monthly wrap up for July, it is also going to be the July book haul. Going to knock both of those out. And while you're seeing this, I'm actually going to be in Seattle for Worldcon, so you might see a few updates on Instagram as well. But for this video today, this one I am pre recording and I'm going to be dropping it while I'm gone. So let's get to it. What did we do during the month of July? Well, let's start on the reading front. Reading front was pretty easy, didn't get super crazy. I finished up Another by Paul Tremblay, little middle grade horror story coming out for Paul. That's his first one ever. I read The Phoenix Pencil Company by Allison King. That one was a little bit weird, but I did enjoy it. Left me with a few questions, but overall, liked it, gave it 4 stars. Then I've read Automatic Noodle by Annalie Newitz. That one was a 5 star. Absolutely enjoyed that. If you're looking for some robots running a restaurant in a not post-apocalyptic but post-Civil War world, not like a second Civil War. California has seceded from the Union. Anyhow, that one was quite interesting. I enjoyed that. Then absolutely knocked it out of the park with the next one, Library at Hellebore. Yes, I've been pronouncing it wrong this whole time. I finally got to talk to Cassandra and hear how she pronounces it. So, The Library at Hellebore, that is take Naomi Novik's Scholomance, but go full horror on it instead. Yeah, it was a trip, but I loved it. 5 stars. Probably one of the best books I've read all year. Then I finished up Small Favor by Jim Butcher. Another 5 star. I know I'm giving out more 5 stars than usual, but I hit some really, really, really good books. What can I say? I even gave another 5 stars as a middle grade book, probably for a 54-year-old. More of a 4 star, but for the type of book it was, couldn't find anything wrong with it, so I did give it that 5th star. All right, catching back up. Then I read The Pawn by Skye Warren. Not my cup of tea. That probably didn't help any. It was a romance, and it was kind of had some 50 Shades of Grey vibes to it. It was a book. Wasn't anything wrong with it. Some people who are into that type of book may enjoy it more. That was my only 3 star for the month. But again, don't think I was the target demographic. And it's also just a genre that is not super high on my list in the first place. If you want to read it, I'm not going to tell you to, but I'm also not going, or tell you not to, but I'm also not going to tell you to. It's up to you. Anyhow, moving on. Mapping the Interior, that was my last book of the month I finished up. Little palette cleanser, 95-page book by Stephen Graham Jones. Gave this one 4 stars. The only thing that I really was kind of bringing it down for me, just a hair, was the voice. And again, I think the voice, and I'm talking about the voice, the feel, the vibe of the character. It's a 12-year-old Native American boy, and I feel like it was a conscious choice by Stephen to kind of put you into the mind of a 12-year-old. So to a certain extent, the thoughts in his head and stuff like that, it's not the long flowing prose, it's not the Queen's English or whatever you want to call it. Again, but I think it's to get in that vibe. But it's also just had just a hair of a slow start. Again, it's 95 pages, so that slow start didn't last very long, but it was there. Still gave it 4 stars. Enjoyed that book. And like I said, the ending of that book really, really brings it home. So even my complaints on that were middling, no big deal. Great books all around. So that's everything I read during the month of July. And let's move on to what we did here on the channel. Live stream, we did have a couple live streams. One was the interview with Jake from Nerd Level Rising. Absolutely enjoyed that. Great guy, covers a lot of the stuff that I don't cover. So, I mean, to me, a lot of times the booktubers that I follow, for instance, they're the ones that fill niches. There may be some really good booktubers out there that I don't follow just because I'm already following somebody that kind of has the exact same content. And I personally really like to fit in things. So Jake goes over a lot of, gaming and anime and, manga, that type of stuff. Manga. I used to always say it wrong, and now that I've learned how to say it right, I still sometimes confuse which one's which. Disregard. Follow Jake. Jake knows how to say it. But he does. He's also covers books and stuff and has some interviews and things. But he also does fill in a little bit of slots that I don't have on my channel. So I appreciate that. That's part of why I follow him. And then I can't remember what video it was for. It might have been for the book haul for last month. I did do a live stream because I did also give away a free audiobook to one of my patrons. Again, thanks to Libro.fm, who gave me a few free credits to throw around. I appreciate that. And so, again, I did the live stream. I like to do a live stream when I'm doing a giveaway just so people can see. I'm not just picking somebody I want to pick. I spin the little spinner and we see what it lands on. That was it for the live streams. And then, of course, I'm not going to tell you about the weekly wraps and all that stuff we normally do. I only ended up having one author event last month because of a couple of schedule changes. But we did have the Paul Tremblay interview. Thoroughly enjoyed that. Love Paul Tremblay. He's one of the tops in the horror genre, and that was fun to talk to him about that. So you can check that one out. And the one that we did miss, we ended up having to reschedule, was the Cassandra Caw interview. That one has been done, and it's actually it'll post by the time you see this, because it is going to be posting Monday the 11th at 7 p.m. And this is dropping on Friday, so you will have already seen that video. Hopefully, if you didn't see that video, go back and watch it. I enjoyed talking to Cassandra. She did not have a webcam on her, so it is, just a little circle in the corner, but it is definitely her talking. We had a little bit of a conversation about her latest book, which, again, that was the one, The Library at Hellebore. I don't know where it's going to land at the end of the year, but it is definitely going to be one of the top books that I read. My 2 cents. All right, so those are the main 2 things for the wrap-up. I didn't watch, I take that back. We did watch, although it might have been this month. I can't remember when I watched it now. I'm not good with time, and it is already the 10th. I did watch Fantastic Four, but that might have been this month. But I will probably forget about it by the next time. So, anyhow, it was a fun movie. It wasn't top of the line Marvel for me, but it wasn't as bad as people I think wanted to make it. It's definitely better than Quantumania. I'm gonna say that right now. With all love to Paul Rudd, the Quantumania was not the best one in the Marvel lineup. So it's a little bit better, and it's definitely setting up the next Avengers movie. So that's that for that. TV shows, we started in on Goliath Season 2, and I don't think we really watched much of all of it just because it was a crazy busy month, and it's a crazy busy month again. So moving on, let's get the book haul. It is a very short book haul, so that's also part of the reason why I'm just combining these. I was sent by Tor.com. Of course it's Tor.com. I always get sent. I love those guys. If I haven't said that enough, I love those guys. And also I want them to keep sending me stuff. But no, seriously. For me, I have found, if you're a booktuber, they're the easiest imprint to work with. Arcs, author interviews. Yeah, anyhow, check them out. Love those guys. So they sent me, and I did actually request this one. I'd wanted to read this one. It was on my list. The Works of Vermin by Hiron Ennis. And just real quick on that, of course, this is an arc, so the back is all the other stuff. Let's see if there's a little... Okay, here we go. He was sent to kill a pest. Instead, he found a monster. Enter the decadent, deadly city of Tilliard, carved into the stump of an ancient tree. In its canopy, the pampered elite warp minds with toxic perfume. In its roots, gangs of exterminators hunt a colossal worm with an appetite for beauty. In this complex, chaotic city, Guy Moulin, I hope I pronounced that right, has a simple goal: keep his sister out of debt. For her sake, he'll take on any job, no matter how vile. As an exterminator, Guy hunts the uncanny pests that crawl up from the river. These vermin are all strange and often dangerous. His latest quarry is different: a worm the size of a dragon with a deadly venom and a ravenous taste for artwork. As it digests Tilliard from the sewers to the opera house, its toxin reshapes the future of the city. No sane person would hunt it if they had the choice. Guy doesn't have a choice. Anyhow, this one sounded a little creepy. I wanted to check it out. Again, shout out to Tor for sending that my way. I appreciate it. And then these, I think these were both sent to me by Simon and Schuster, if I remember correctly. I'm 99% sure on that. But I got the latest copy. I got the new, it's the hardcover, it's not actually the ARC. You Belong Here by Megan Miranda. Megan Miranda? It's probably Megan Miranda. I shouldn't try to do these first thing in the morning. We know that by now. Beckett Bowery never thought she'd return to Wyatt Valley, a picturesque college town in the Virginia mountains steeped in tradition. Her roots there were strong. Beckett's parents taught at the college, and she never ever even imagined studying anywhere else, until a tragedy during her senior year ended with 2 local men dead and her roommate on the run, never to be seen again. The legacy of that fateful night has haunted her small town ever since. Nothing felt safe about home anymore, and for the last 2 decades, Beckett has done her best to keep her distance. Then her daughter Delilah secretly applies to Wyatt College and earns a full scholarship, and Beckett can only hope that her lingering fears are unfounded. But deep down, she knows that Wyatt Valley has a long memory and that the past isn't the only dangerous thing in town. Anyhow, she's one of those authors that has been on my list. I don't usually get out of the fantasy, sci-fi, horror genre too often, just because that's what I love. But I do like a good book no matter where it's from, and I've heard about her forever. So I'd wanted to read this. Thank you for Simon Schuster for sending that out to me. Yep, simonandschuster.com. I just want to make sure. And I know they sent me both of these, so this one is good. And then this one, this is an ARC. It is sent to me, again, by Simon & Schuster. It is We Love You, Bunny, a novel by Mona Awad. Awad. Mona, I'm going to apologize. I literally have no idea how to say your last name. Now, this I know is the second in a series, so I probably need to pick up the first one. But I loved just the title or the description of this, Frankenstein meets Heathers. So, and yes, guilty pleasure. I did like Heathers back in the day. I am from that age group, obviously. Samantha Heather Mackey, originally ostracized by the clique. Again, I shouldn't read these in the morning. Of creepy, sweet rich girls and her highly selective MFA program, who called themselves Bunny, found herself thrown into the violently surreal world of their off-campus workshop, where monstrous creations were conjured with deadly and wondrous consequences. Now, I'm not going to read any more of the back because this is book 2 and I haven't read book 1, and I'm not spoiling it for either one of us. But yeah, I got that from Simon & Schuster again. Thank you guys. Appreciate that. I have got some books to read, and I've even got some more books that have come in August. So life is busy. Life is crazy. Again, appreciate you guys watching this. If you're seeing this on Friday when it drops, I am in Seattle checking out Worldcon, probably having the time of my life. I already know a bunch of booktubers that I follow are going to be out there. There's some authors that I definitely want to meet that are out there, including some that have been on the channel. Martha Wells is the guest star, or the guest of honor. She's going to be there. Shauna McGuire, who was my very, very first interview, 4 years ago, is also going to be out there. Finally get to meet them in person. So, again, I'm going to be having a blast. Check out the Instagram. I don't know how much I'm going to post, if anything, on YouTube during the week while I'm gone, but I probably will be throwing some Instagram posts up out there. All right. I love you guys, and sometime next week I'll tell you how Worldcon went. All right. Catch you later.